Hi, I'm Jacob Rigger, and in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you the basic check that you should do on a solar system on an RV. Now, keep in mind, in order to perform this test, you have to have enough sunlight that the solar panels are actually getting something. If the RV is parked under a shade or indoors, you're not going to be able to test the solar system. So the first test that we're going to perform is on this Victron MPPT 150 Smart Charge Controller. So we've got 4 terminals right here, battery, plus and negative. So this is going to be going to the onboard battery for the RV. And then we've got PV, that stands for photovoltaic. That means the solar panels up on the roof. And this is the plus and minus connected to the photovoltaic panels. So this first number is the maximum number of volts this charge controller can handle. And the 50 is the maximum number of amps that can be going through it. I'm going to turn my meter to volts. I have to select DC volts. I'm going to put my black probe on the negative terminal, just in here on the screw, and my red probe on the positive. So this says we've got 66 volts. This is a normal range. What we don't want to see is voltage that exceeds this first number. So we've confirmed we've got good voltage coming in from the photovoltaic cells, and now we want to test on the battery side. So we want to make sure and put black on negative, red on positive. And now you can see the charge controller is putting out 13.3 volts. So 13.3 is a charging voltage. A typical full battery is going to show 12.8 volts. So this means the charge controller is doing its job. It's putting out a charging current. Now, the second thing we can check is actually for amps. So I'm going to set my meter on my 100 amp setting. Now, instead of AC amps, I have to select DC, and we're going to clamp here. So this says we've got 4.8 amps, which is very low amperage because it can handle up to 50. If we check amps over here at the actual battery output, if I can get my clamp here, there we go, 22.4 amps. As long as our amperage is below this 50, the system is not in danger of frying itself. It's putting out a charge current.
If you're wondering why we've got 66 volts and 4.5 amps coming in and different voltage and amperage going out, the way the math works, it's actually the same wattage going in and out of the controller. Because volts times amps equals watts, it's the same amount of energy passing through the controller, even though you're getting different numbers before and after.
Now you'll notice the watts actually drop from the solar side to the battery charging side. And this is normal because the charge controller itself generates heat. It's not transmitting 100% of the power from the solar panels to the batteries.
It's important to recognize that while this RV has massive 300 watt solar panels up there, many RVs have smaller 100 watt solar panels that actually operate at a different voltage. So the 66 volts is not always what you're going to see coming into a controller because that's going to vary based on the solar array and how they connect the solar panels. The important thing is that that voltage is not higher than the rated voltage for the charge controller. Also, the charging voltage will vary quite a bit. 13.1 is considered a maintenance charge, but you can see as high as 14.5 volts for charging lithium batteries. Solar systems can get very complicated, and the truth is there's always new technology coming out on all RV systems. One of the benefits of being a part of my RV inspector network is that you have the ability to ask questions of other inspectors, many of whom are technicians. So for example, if you get a solar panel reading that you just can't make sense of and you're not sure what to tell the client, we've got your back. Right now, it's free for you to join, and I'm constantly being contacted by people in states where I don't have inspectors. So if you're the only inspector right now in that state, then you're going to get 100% of the leads coming through my YouTube channel. To learn more about how to apply, go to riggerrvinspection.com.
So using our voltmeter, testing volts and amps of the power coming in and out of the charge controller, we can see that it's doing its job of charging the battery. Now here's the deal. Customers may want to ask, is it charging as efficiently as it should or as it could? And that's not a question that you need to answer as an inspector. The answer would be, if you need more information about the performance of the system, you'll need to talk to a qualified solar technician because there's so many variables with how solar panels work. The latitude, the angle of the sun, the time of year, how many hours of daylight you're getting, the temperature. Colder actually means more efficient charging for monocrystalline solar panels. And then there's the type of solar panels, monocrystalline versus polycrystalline versus bifacial. There's so many different factors that will affect how well a system performs. Your job as an inspector is not to go learn all that information and give that information to people. You just need to deliver a basic, it's doing some charging or it's not and needs to be investigated in your inspection report.
Click here if you want to see more tips about running an RV inspection business, or click here for more hands-on tutorials about inspecting RVs.